Hey friends, Admiral Amber here, filling you in on life, food, fun, fitness, and a whole lot more. Today, I thought I would tell you a little bit about my fitness journey. So when I was growing up, I hated working out, and I hated gym class, I hated running, I hated all of that stuff. I did, however, love running through the woods and building forts and walking in nature, so I've always loved going for hikes. That was about the extent of fitness that I got. I did try to do yoga when I was a teenager, and that stuff was so much harder than I thought it would be. Holding static poses is no joke, you guys. But I pretty much stayed away from any type of fitness or working out growing up. I did love going for walks though. I used to have a friend who had moved across town, kind of. It was 2 hours for me to walk to her house, but I would walk to her house and back a couple times a week. It was a lot of walking for, a 12, 13-year-old girl. But I didn't mind it because I enjoy walking. Anyways, fast forward time when I got, after I had my first son, I decided I needed to do something fitness-wise to try to get my body back into pre-pregnancy shape. So I had picked up a DVD called 30 Day Shred. It was by Jillian Michaels. And I did that program, and it was a good experience. It kind of like put the bug in me for wanting to start, expanding on my fitness level. And then I had a sister-in-law who was going to start the Insanity program. So we did that. We started that together. We didn't finish the whole thing. That program was no joke. It was intense, very intense workouts. For somebody who had not really worked out my whole life, it was some tough stuff. But then, kind of quit working out for a while. And when I got back into it, I decided I needed to go to a gym. Like, that I felt like it would give me some sort of routine or something. So I started using, I got a membership to the YMCA, started going to the gym, and eventually I started learning about lifting weights. And later on in life, that became like a bit of an addiction for me. But I've been off and on with going to the gym and then taking breaks for quite some time. And the one thing that I've always struggled with is food, because I love to eat, especially sugar. So I've never really got the results that I wanted. The best results I did get was when I did Insanity. But I was in my 20s, and I had got like a 6-pack from doing that program. But it's a lot easier to tone your body and make things work when you're in your 20s. And I have been on this journey to try to regain that for quite some time now. I would say like 3 years ago, I was super unhappy with how I was looking because I had stopped working out altogether for a good year or so. And then I finally started going back to the gym. I've cut back on sugar a bit. A lot now, but at the time I wasn't even taking that seriously. But then I would say about 2 months ago or so, I started researching how to get rid of that pouch that sits above your lower abs, because that's what I've been struggling with for all this time. I'm trying to get my lower abs back, and it's very, very hard. So it's called visceral fat. So I've done all of this research on how to get rid of the visceral fat. And one of the number one things that they talk about is just walking. Walking is one of the best forms of exercise. It gets you in the perfect heart rate zone for burning visceral fat. There's other fitness or nutrition stuff that can go along with it that I've tried to put into my life. I'll talk about that in another video. But I've made it a point to get up and go for at least a 30-minute walk every day. I think that's very important. It helps wake up the body. I used to get up and do a workout every morning, high intensity workout, and I learned that's very bad for your body because it raises cortisol levels, which actually, holds on to fat. Anyways, highly suggest lifting weights for anybody who is interested. And if anybody else wants to start their own fitness journey, I would love to give you some tips and tricks on how to start slow and work your way into it and then expand on it later on. Anyways, hope you guys have a great day. Bye.